sheep on the line. But he knew me catchphrases, so it's all working, you see. People sat at work going, oh, I didn't see you there. Oh, no, it's coming, it's coming. Can't beat an echo of 2 tractors on full whack going. Oh, didn't see that. It's Thomas Edward, that's me, that is. Early morning on Saturday, the, what is it today? The 29th of August. And I'm just feeding the hens in, and I'm just giving them a bit of bread. So anyway, I'm up early because we're about to go and see 2 Class 37s coming from Chesterfield all the way up to Workington on the west coast of Cumbria. And it's coming through our neck of the woods in about half an hour's time. And we're gonna film it, and I'm gonna get a photo of me. The camera's here, and then there's gonna be more stuff in later on the day what you'll see in this video. So I think we'll get on. I've got a bit more bread here. I think that cock there, not so sure. This is a bit of a TE opinion, or not opinion, theory. I think he's a breed of, you know, cock, what's called a Braemar. He's pretty handsome beast, isn't he? He's almost like a show hen, you know, or show cock, I should say. You know, and he's all his lady friends are also wondering. This one's a bit of a maverick. It's got under the fence and it's on this side. When we get the TE Empire, as well as me donkeys in me pasture, we can have a big hen shed with a load of hens and a cock to keep them all happy. And then we could get some eggs in the morning with TE. That'd be cool. Free range eggs. Oh, 237s there, a bit of thrash, and it had 10 coaches and a body snatcher on the back. It was pulling a fair bit of dead weight on back, and it sounded good going through Grange over Sands there. You can't beat an echo of 2 tractors on full whack going along the coast of the Morecambe Bay. You know, not many people get to experience that, and see TE brings you to all the best places. And I think we'll get on with the rest of the day, and then we'll catch it when it comes back down the coast a bit later on in the day. So let's get on and get my cameras packed up. Now, I did get a picture. I'll see how that came out, and I get it on computer. But we'll get packed away, get back, and TE hasn't had its breakfast yet, so I need a bit of nose bag. So I need to go home and eat that, and then I can get on with the rest of my day. Well, it's quite exciting today, so let's go and do that, shall we?
Right, very underrated car. Here we go, the Riley RMB. This is lot number 113. My instructions are submit the highest bid on this one. I've got commissions on it.
Oh, just watching Angler car auctions. It's live on the Saturday afternoon, and I'm waiting up for an exciting little car to appear. What's a Rover 200 BRM's going to come through in the next couple of lots with a rare silver cone on it, nose cone, in normally orange. This one's silver, and the last 3 letters on the number plate are DJM. And DJM, if my memory serves me right, was sold last year in Warrington, and wanted about $2.5 grand for it. And I think the guy probably got it for about 2. And we were going to go and have a buy of it before we bought Noel and JJ. We ended up buying 2 ZRs instead of a BRM. So we're going to see how much it makes at auction, and it's going to come on in a minute. I think there's another lot after this Riley. And we'll see what it does, because I think BRMs are a bit out of our grasp now. They've gone a bit too much money. But you never know, auction, auction, sometimes you get a bargain. Cheap as chips, sometimes. Oh, there's a Chevrolet coming in next, a C10. A 5.7 V8 pickup. It's a yank tank, as you'd call it, that is.
Oh yeah, have a look. There you go. The Chevrolet there, imported from Kansas, lot number 114.
They were banned, weren't they, Kansas?
Start me 6,000. Right, put me in a £5,000 for it.
It's pretty cool, Jim. The auctioneer is a pro, you know. It's a real skill, you know, being an auctioneer. It's like being an entertainment, doing all that talking and all that spiel. You know, it's in slang, I think you'd call it. It's pretty tough going if you're new to the game, I would have thought. But obviously, I bet he's been in industry quite a long time. It's got a wolf there on the tailgate of that pickup. Only American pickup you get a wolf on the back of it. Whoa, no, it's coming.
And lot 115, don't see many of these around now, the Rover 200 BRM. Lot 115. Right. £1,800, looks cheap at 1,800 deal. At 18. £1,800 at £1,800, all done at 18. £1,800, you better wake up, you're not buying it. 19, 2,000. 2,000 bid, 22.50, 25. 750, 3,000. £3,000 bid, on sale. At £3,000 for the BRM, at £3,000 a bid. £3,000 hammers up, £3,000 bid, it's sold, it's gone, last chance at 3,000. Yes or no? Sold, £3,000.
There you go, £3,000 it made, so it made about $1 grand more than what I think the guy bought it for. But I was just looking then, when that interior shot, it had its door cards were shot, so you'd have to replace door cards in it. But luckily, if TE got it, if I had £3 grand to spare, we've got a set of door cards I could have put in that, and a few interior bits. But the guy I was reading up on it, a guy tried selling that before it went to auction for about £3,500–4,000 privately, And since he had it in like the year of lockdown last year, he'd done brakes, refurbished the wheels and all bits of suspension bits on it. He sort of tidied it up to make a profit. So he's I don't know if he's made a profit there or not, or but it was cheap, but it wasn't cheap enough for TE, you know, because we nearly bought one for 1,700 quid. That was seemed expensive at the time, and that's quite a lot more than £1,700. So they're going up, but I don't think they're as much money as people on eBay think they are. People think they're worth £6,000. I think that's pretty much where they're sitting at the moment. It's £3,000. So anyway, that's a Rover BRM. You know, when I get the Silver Spirit, I'll also in my garage tucked away I'll have a BRM as well. That'd be pretty cool. That would. But it's got a angler car options. They have got 2 presenters on it. It's really cool.
Millions of miles around the world. And as it's just pulled up, it's not as noisy or as clattery or as...
That's a diesel SL, that is. It's a conversion. It should have a petrol in it.
Now, we had a discussion earlier on. This is a potential candidate to enjoy and maybe stick a petrol engine back in. It's manual converted as well. If values keep going up, yes, maybe it's more practical.
So the Northern Ireland number plate.
The Mercedes SL, you said diesel powered, there you are, rare car. I've got commissions, I've got 2 commissions, internet sim, right, I'm going to start it at £5,000. 5,000 with me, 250, 55, 5750 I've got, 5750, £6,000. £6,000 bid. At £6,000 on the net, £6,000 we sell it. £6,000 bid all done. At 6,000 last chance. 250, 65.
But I think
65 bid. Press again.
I can't watch this all day. I've got to get outside and get me. You know, it's a big exciting day for TE because I'm actually going to go and do a bit of work on Noel today. Noel's got a few goodies. You know, dining table. I'm going to fit him today. And then we're going to go back out after Noel and bash a bit more 37s what's going back down the coast. So it's a grand day out of TE. Well, it's a grand day at home with TE, I should say. You know, this is, you know, if you want I know a few of you wanted to see what Thomas Edward does on his day-to-day life. Well, you've got it right here. You've got trains, eating, you know, getting out before eating nosebag, getting trains, feeding chickens, watching angler car auctions and fixing cars, and then watching more trains and then going to bed. That's pretty much what a TE day consists of. You know, so you're seeing behind the scenes pretty much, but it's not really behind the scenes because it's what I do anyway. Well, you're seeing it's like a reality TV show, I think, what they call it. But we should get on, I think, and watch. Go and do a bit of work on all, but I'll just leave this up playing on in the background because it keeps you know, makes the world go round. It's time for Noel to have some new parts, and last time we had this airbox on put here, a stock genuine 160 airbox put on him, make him a lot quieter. And today's little job is to take this cover off here to show us where the spark plugs are, and we're going to put a fresh set of plugs in him because I don't think he's probably any plugs for about 8 years, maybe 6 to 8 years. Looking at, he's been sat for a while with an owner what put him on back on the road in 2020. He bought it off someone in Birmingham who before then it had been off the road about 5 years. So I don't think he's ever had any plugs on it. Maybe the last owner did put some plugs, but I don't think he did. I think he just got it on the road. People don't tend to do plugs so often. You know, people tend to just do the oil and filter, but they don't always do plugs, and probably plugs are the most important bit because that's the sparky engine. That's what makes it fire and do each compression stroke is the sparks on the plugs. So we're going to put some new plugs in today, and just behind camera, and I'll show you a few goodies I've got as well, what I've bought off a few TE fans. Well, one I got given, but one I kind of bought, but he gave me a good price on it, more of a postage price. So I'll show you them next. So on here, I've got some few goodies for today's jam. I've got a 3/8 socket set, a spark plug spanner, some extensions. I brought 2 out because I haven't done any plugs for a long time and I can't remember what size length extension. I've got a washer there now. It's a biggie, that is. So we'll get that, and I got some plugs, some super duper good ones in K series mainly. K series engine, they like to run on good plugs. Don't buy cheap plugs. So get anything made by Bosch or NGK, anything like that, and they'll run pretty good. If you get cheap plugs, you're in a losing battle because you don't like running on them. So I got them. They're from Euro Car Part. Always a good price at Euro Car Part. And then over here, this is nothing to do with today's video, but I've bought it anyway. Is a bit of sheet metal, quite a solid, like about 3mm thick. And this is a repair panel for a sill on it's either going on now or it's going on one of the other projects. And this was bought from Steve, and Steve and his daughter, who lives down on the line I did recently, the Wufferton to Beauty line. They live in one of the little villages along that line, or towns I should say. And they're big fans, and I saw this and I said, oh, how much do you want with postage? And he said, oh, I'm a TE fan. He said, just pay his postage. So I paid him $4.20 and got that for future projects. And there you go, Steve. It's made it safe and sound up to Cumbria. So that'll be going on soon. And then what all this stuff is sat in, this big tray, is off another TE fan called Mark Waterman. He's no relation to Pete Waterman, I might add. And he gave us that because I said to him, he had a load of these, and said, oh, they're great oil drip pans they are. So they were like this, when Noel sat around, you know, rovers tend to leak a lot of oil, and if you got a rover what doesn't leak oil, there's something wrong with it. So they leak oil, so this will go underneath the engine, so if you've got any drips it won't go on the backyard and contaminate what oil does. No, it shouldn't really contaminate stuff, so it's better dripping in one of these. Even in a garage you can have them dripping in these so you don't get oil on your concrete floor or whatever floor you've got. So that's another one. I've got 3 of these for each ZR, so they're good. It's a handy bit of kit that, but I think we should get on and get some plugs out. Well, start taking it apart, I think. $10mm socket. Take this bit of plastic off. This is just to cover this, just makes it look pretty, keeps it functional. Actually, when we bought Noel, he didn't have one of these, it was missing, so I got this from Maddie in Scotland. She gave me one of these. And I might add, for all these bolts in here are not the same size in length. One of them's shorter. This one and this one are that length, quite a long one. And this one here at the front is quite short, and you've all got washers on as well. That should come off like that. Hey presto. He's gone a bit oxidised. Oh, aluminium's gone off and all. It's not too good really. It needs cleaning up. So this is what it reveals underneath. Now, K series are a bit different from some engines. Not all, but they're a bit different in a way. If you're not used to it, there's a lot of non-car guys on this channel. But on here, there's these leads here. These 2 leads here are your HT leads, or your HT leads, and then they're the end of your HT leads. But these 2, if you look, are different. And what these are your coil packs, and this is what's known as coil on plug. So on this car, it's got 2 coils. Some cars have 4 coils for each cylinder, and whatever, you know, 6 cylinder, 8 cylinder. Some have quite a lot of coils, but this only has 2 coils for the 4 cylinders. Now, coil and plug, they always say coil and plug's best because it gives it a better spark. So if you don't know what a coil pack does, a coil pack pretty much, so your battery over here is 12 volt, and these coil packs make this 12 volt a lot more voltage. So power goes from here into these coil packs, and then it'll go, and then it transfers that down the HT leads into the plugs and gives you the spark to start the engine. And if you're having starting problems, or it's running, it's eating a bit of, running a bit rich, eating a bit of a fuel, and it's not, or it's misfiring, then the 99% of the time your coil packs are going bad, or they've broke altogether. That's what the problem is. So if you, when you do your plugs, don't pull all of them out, because you'll forget where they go. So what I do is pull one out, do the plug, put it back in, pull the next one out, put the plug in, and do it one by one. Don't pull all of them out, because you always people put the wrong ones in, and then it will misfire, and you have to get it right and plug them in. It's just do one by one. It's the most easiest thing in the world, you know. I'm going to try and get away with me shorter extension with my socket. Now this says it's a 10mm, but I can show you that isn't a 10mm. It's more like a 16mm proper spark plug socket. I got this when we had a course years ago. And there is one plug, and it actually, as you can see the end of that, I can show you that plug doesn't look too bad. You have to do them sort of hand tight, and then you should newton meters torque. I think it's like 28 newton meters torque, but just do them hand tight. It's just nip them up a bit, and you're all right. That's 4 plugs fitted to now, and all done in a nice order. Some, these are all the old plugs here. That one looks the worst, that one does, out of the 4. But it's almost just, it just looks like it's got water in it almost. The others look alright. You know, that's even got it on thread, like rusty, sort of gone off. Almost like there's water gone inside that cylinder almost. But almost just, water's just gone inside the spark plug hole and not actually the cylinder, I should say. That's the worst one. They look alright. Well, at least he's got some brand new shiny ones now. I just need to put this cap back on, and then we'll start him up and make sure I get everything in, right? All in order. Ordered them on one bit. And we should be Bob's your uncle. There you go. Bit of a slow start there, but it seems to start up. Still on cold start, so don't rev it too much. But I've got them all back in. It sounds like all HT leads are in that same place, so I've got them all back in, right? It came out, we just managed to catch it, didn't get very far, and had to run back and get a better shot there. hopefully it's sun, you can see in the sun, but it was on back now, so it was attached to the body snatcher. It was 237 and the body snatcher, and just where we were filming in is an X-Power MGTF on the 55 plate, quite a late one. I've just had a look around back, and I think it's a 135 horsepower. It's not a 160. It's just a standard bog spec TF. So that's 2 birds with 1 stone, I think the term is. Well, yeah, that's the term. And I think we'll get back and do the rest of the TE day and see what else we can do with what's exciting. Oh, it's a bit later on now. T's had a snooze, and we've come out to give Noel a run with his new plugs to see how he is, and he's a bit more peppy, I think the word is. I'm going to go and take him up to Aldi and get a bit of shopping. Well, we just stopped off at Newbridge Holt, what's near the Swan Hotel at Newbridge. The Swan Hotel's only down there, and this used to be dead local to yours truly, Thomas Edwards. I only used to live 4 or 5 miles up that valley, so I used to come past here every day when I went to college. Now this line here is the Lakeside and Haverthwaite line as we know it today, but originally this line came from Plumpton Junction up near Ulston all the way up to Lakeside. And if you keep subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. This line is a future TE video what's being filmed as we speak. But over here we've got 2 lambkins, 2 lambs. They were a bit older lambs, but the 2 lambs on the line. Oh, there's van life. Presscottagegraphics.co.uk. Right, someone's van life. These sheep on the line. There's an old tale on the thing what many of TE family always comment on. Is when long time ago when the engine went past the signal box. Right, at speed, the guy out the signal box would tell him that there was sheep on the line, but he won't. But the thing is, because he was going so fast, the train, he'd go, "There's sheep on the line," so the driver could hear him. So there you go. That's a TE story for you. Sheep on the line. So that's a TE story there, because you know, you can't say it in like sheep on the line because you're not going to hear it. You got to do it with the motion of the train. You know, as it goes past, you got to do the voice with it. It's probably quite a skilled job, I think. And then we adopted it as a family. Oh, he's going back to van life. I just think that's what everyone's doing now, buying a VW Crafter or a Mercedes Sprinter, and getting up to Lake District with the camping stove, just like we're doing, but we're locals. You know, these are coming up and camping on lanes. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's good. I'd do a bit of van life one day in a transit. And then up behind us is 2 pheasants, or grouse, or whatever you want to call them. Where I lived further up the line, only last year I moved, they'd breed pheasants, make them big and fat, and then shoot them. But they're dozy animals. They're not the brightest sparks in box. You know, there's many a few what get run over. Right, when people say you're running around like a headless chicken, you might as well be running around like a headless pheasant, because you can have a head on one. No, running around like a pheasant with its head still on, I think. You know, because they are dozy. Well, they're not the brightest animals on the planet. Well, yeah, we used to breed them up where we lived. We used to get nice and fat, and then they used to turn up in the Range Rovers and the tweed jackets and whatever and shoot them. at certain times of the year and have big shooting parties with loads of Yanks. Hey! And they turn up with the guns and get them shot. So anyway, we're just on this station, just brewing up, and then we're off to Aldi in Ulverston. And talking of Aldi in Ulverston, it's brand new, and I was up there the other day for the first time because I haven't really been up that way much recently. And I got recognised in the car park in the space of 5 minutes by 2 people. Well, one guy said, "Oh, nice channel," and I said, "What, for railways?" He said, "Oh yeah," and he walked off. And then I went back and sat in the car, and a lad turned up and said, "Oh, strange question, have we got a YouTube?" And it turned out he was a friend of some guy at work who was a big TE fan, and he just heard lots about me. So he knew lots about me, but he never really watched me. But he knew me catchphrases, so it's all working, you see. People sat at work going, "Oh, I didn't see you there." The catchphrases are for the win. And talking of catchphrases, keep tuned because TE merch is on its way very soon. I've just got to have a chat with my brother because he's pro on these t-shirt games, and I need to sort me something. I think I can hear the kettle bubbling. I'll have to go and turn it off, so excuse me, I've just got to go and turn it off. I don't think it's quite bubbled. It's a bit of bubbling, but it's not spilled over out the spout yet. It's getting to the cusp of boiling over, I think, but not quite. In a minute, you can feel it's vibrating slightly. It's getting there. We'll wait for that to boil over, and then when that's boiled over, we can have some tea with TE. 141 feet above sea level, Newry Bridges. It's not that high really, it's quite on the level really. And then here, they've had this for years, this little hut, and it's just plastered with all the history of how the line started when it went into preserved and the early years, and it's really good. And this station, and keeping the station, and that man there used to be sort of he used to be like almost like a gamekeeper, but like a state, he used to look after this station sort of master almost. He used to look after it, not. But yeah, this line is coming to this channel very soon, to a screen near you. So keep tuned for that. But the shed, the shed used to be fastened down here, and it's all come away. And me and the cameraman were just discussing if we got some tannalised wood, we could come up here and fix this for him and get it all tickety-boo. That could be a future video. We'll have to email them and say, "Oh, can we come and fix your hut?" We could turn up and get this all sorted out. Because we've all got, turn up with a little Jenny, tools. That'd be a great video, wouldn't it, that? Yeah. Not when he's got your brush, you see. It's got a loose handle, it needs a handle's a bit, needs redoing, not it, so you can brush all the stones out this hut, you see, in order. Yeah, before you see TE doing work, you see. It's not a very good brush, but it does the job. Pretty good. And then sheep pursue there, they've gone a bit further down. That's another path that sort of goes down to road down there. There's like 2 paths onto this station. There's that one, and then there's one up where we parked. There's all these old lamps everywhere with no tops on them. The bigger one there, they might put some lights on here. That'd be good, right? Some vintage lamps on there. And talking of that, there's a video coming soon where I'm going to do a bit of spending some cash, and we look at something what goes on top of there, but I'm not going to spoil it. So when you see that, you will know what I'm on about. I can't show you that because it's boiling. My tea's ready. Always keep a tea towel around with you, so when you have to pick hot things up. what you call tea with TE. Now just let that brew a bit, but not too much, because TE here doesn't like a strong tea. He likes a weak tea. Not many people like weak tea, but I like a weak tea. There is a certain word what people call weak tea, but I don't want to repeat it because YouTube might tell me off. But I like it very, very weak. So lots of milk with 2 lumps of sugar. That's TE. Good tea with that, with TE, you know. Can't beat, and you can't beat it in Noel's cup either. See, you got Noel there, and he's got his own cup. So you know, pro stuff that is. One day we'll have a Noel cup and a TE cup with me smudge in it, and oh, that'd be cool. That would one day. You know, when we have tea parties, you can all come sit and drink out of TE's cup, drinking tea. You know, tea. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, it's a good tea, that. But I think the cameraman's thirsty as well, and he's holding the camera, and he can't really juggle a big camera and a tea. It's a bit like, oh, it's a bit of a balancing act. So we'll best stop and let him drink his tea, and then we'll get on up to Aldi, and we'll probably end up there, but we don't know. We'll see. Well, I had me tea with TE, and it's actually gone a bit dark now. The nights are drawing in with TE. It's not as good as it was a few months ago, but we made it up to Ulverston. It's just out of Ulverston actually, and they've got a big emergency centre over there with police cars, ambulances and fire engines. It's all new here, it's all a bit posh, and behind the cameraman is M&S Marks and Spencer's Foods. A bit quite posh actually, that is. That's just in that building there. Quite posh for up here, that is. That's more like you find an Alderley Edge in Cheshire, that kind of supermarket. But over here is the more you know, TE friendly store. Is Aldi, you know, and Aldi you can get Titan bars in Aldi. What's the modern day fat Mars bars? What, you know, Mars bars today actually are rubbish, and these Aldi still do really good ones called Titan bars. And there's Noel over there, and his spark plugs are nice and sparky, and I think he's a bit quicker than he was. So he's looking nice and pretty over here. But this very car park here, parked over there, and another ZR blue one, 2 guys spotted TE. So this car park here, there's TE fans actually shopping that shop there, and then they watch me on the big screen, so to speak. So little they know, I've been lurking around in the night on a Saturday evening, right in the local store again. So, but we're gonna go in and get a trolley and get some Titan bars, I think, and I'll see you in a bit. Go on, let's go. Oh, that was an everyday day with TE. That's what happens on an average day with TE. Now, come on with me Titan bars, but I've not opened them yet because going to wait for a family day out in about a week's time when a certain brother likes his Titan, because you know, the cheap food. So we'll save them. But if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you get a subscribing, you know, because there's lots of videos coming, lots of big railway videos coming, lots like big research ones, not just anything like this, but like big ones. And give me a like and give me a comment. I love your comments, always love seeing your comments. And click that big bell. Ding!